Hey, oh, and hitting enter. Hey, I get an achievement for doing absolutely nothing. Anyway, welcome back. I can't do intros anymore. Hey, everybody, welcome to my new Let's Play for the Stanley Parable. And this is going to be something different because usually I know what I'm doing or I have a guide in my lap. But today, instead of a guide or knowing what I'm doing, I have someone who's going to telling me what to do. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, it's me, Matthew. You've seen me in other things that he's done.
Alrighty, if I remember, there's a card right here-ishness. So that you
Okay,
can go
there
to
should
this
be an option to turn on closed captioning.
master. Oh, sweet, everything is. Why does there need to be a speaker configuration? Whatever.
I have no idea.
How does... Oh, that's how that
Oh,
volume
hey,
works.
Mom.
Hi, closed captioning, full captions. I like that.
Yes,
Okay.
full captioning.
Video. I'm happy with that. Keyboard
Check
and
extras
mouse.
for the thing involving achievements. That worked, Mom. Okay, we'll be out. I'll be back in a few minutes, Mom.
Enable.
Hello, Anthony.
Hi.
And there's your achievement for turning on achievements.
Is that the achievement you mentioned? Because it gave me 2.
Well, anyway, let's get started, and I'm gonna tell him how to do each ending because he's going in blind for this, guys.
I mentioned that because I said I have no idea what I'm doing. There's not a guide in my lap, and you're just telling me what to do.
Yep. So let's begin the game and watch the opening cutscene.
Alrighty.
The end is never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions.
Why is
call
it
a
so
meeting,
blurry?
or even say hi.
Because it's on cameras.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
And now we're in the game.
Alrighty, let's see.
So there's Stanley's office. Now I'm gonna
Whoa,
let
that
you
moves
choose-
fast.
Yeah, it's a little fast. I'm gonna let you choose which ending that we go through first. If you want to go for the normal ending, just follow everything that the narrator says. If you don't want to, then I'll tell you exactly where to go when we get to the first choice.
Well, let's just follow the narrator.
Alright, narrator it is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alrighty, where's the meeting room?
It's a linear
Oops.
pathway up
Alright,
until
this
the
is too sensitive. Hang on. Keyboard and mouse. I'll move you down a bit. There we go.
There we
It's a
go.
little better.
Believe it or not, this was actually originally a mod for the game Half-Life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Interesting.
was either Half-Life or Half-Life
When
2.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Here's your
on his
first
left.
choice. You can either go left and follow the narrator or go right and disobey him.
We're very left right now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
Tips for
wave
not
of
getting
disbelief, Stanley decided
Watch
to
the
go up
slides
to
are
his
hilarious.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it ball up inside you. Resent coworkers are not supporting you more. Take it out passive-aggressively to on their coworkers. Using slides to ensure employees that everything on board. Can I run? Nope, shift
no.
does nothing.
Coming to a staircase,
can't jump either.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Jumping I don't care about, but running I do. Looks like a boss
By the way,
office
this is
to
the
me.
normal ending, so there's a few snarky moments, but trust me, the endings get better and better as they go on.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I already like this
Shocked,
narrator.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in
That's good.
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known.
Oh
was
my
that the
gosh.
keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible
This is
truth
called the Stanley
that his
Parable
boss
for a
had
reason.
been
It's
keeping
literally a
from him.
story about
And so
Stanley
the
that you're
boss had
hearing
assigned
and
it
playing
an
along
extra
with.
secret pin number 2845.
A little Easter
But of
egg,
course,
if you press
Stanley
8
couldn't
repeatedly,
possibly have
you
known
can actually
this.
hear someone's weird voice say, 8. And I think it's an achievement, too.
By the way, I must ask that you not talk over the narrator. I have a viewer who gets really
Stanley was
upset
around twiddling
if
his thumbs.
I
Trying to input
do that.
anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
Whoa.
sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, you were so unprepared for what you're about to see.
What, death?
There is an option that involves death, but, not if you go the correct way.
Loading.
I should point out to anyone listening, if you can actually hear what's going on outside, I'm next to a hospital.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yes, because the computer fan decided to turn on.
Stanley walked straight ahead
Mind
to the
control
large
facility.
door that read Mind Control Facility.
Here we go. Did you press the button?
There's not already. I guess I didn't know.
I think it's
The
E to
lights
interact.
rose on an
It's
enormous
click.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Wouldn't you just love to have a setup like this?
No. Although I will admit, after playing Devil's Daughter, this is quite timid.
Oh, it'll get better.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
See if you can find 427.
427?
That's him.
I'm not gonna bother.
Alright.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all
Found
this
it.
time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
Pirate.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
That sounds lovely.
Yep, but you're going the wrong way.
I had a feeling.
There's nothing up that scaffolding except a button that does nothing.
Or does it?
I'm pretty sure it does nothing.
They wouldn't have a button up
Gotta go
there if
into-
it didn't do something.
What?
Awaiting input.
You can either turn it on or off, whichever one you want to
And
do.
when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Alrighty.
It's not over yet.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected
come on,
how
game.
many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or
Try and enjoy the animation out there.
whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
There we go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We did it! Game over! That was Stanley Parable. What a wonderful short game.
Well, no. There's still a few more endings to go. As
Yay.
it says at the bottom, the end is never the end.
The end is never the end. How long is... Where are we? Oh, it just jumps us back here?
Every time you get an ending, it just puts you back at Stanley's office to try and get another ending.
How interesting. Alright, is there an ending where we can jump out a window?
Actually, yes.
Ha! I did it! I called it! Alright, we're jumping out a window.
All of
Okay,
his
I can tell you
co-workers
exactly how to do it.
What could it
Stop,
mean?
stop, go back to that
Stanley
room.
decided to go to
Go
the
back to
meeting
that room.
Perhaps
All
he
right.
had simply missed a
You
memo.
can climb on the desk over there using the chair.
There's a lot of desks.
434.
30...
No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Yeah,
he
you
couldn't
can
find a
hop on
trace
the
of his
chair
co-workers.
and you can go out that window.
If the game will let me.
You can't jump, so you have to climb the seat. Now just
I'm
you gotta
stuck.
crouch walk over there.
Crouch walk.
Yeah, crouch is control, I believe.
You could have mentioned that earlier. I'm stuck on a
Try-
thing.
Try going over on the other side of the computer.
There we go, got it.
Now,
Whoa,
you messed it up. You gotta go back around. And then just try to go out the first window.
Alright, hang on. Let's see here. Slow. This is why it's so faster.
By the way, this is an ending. Once you get there you go. Look up.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized
Oh!
it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, Now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Wait, before you answer, there is a different ending for both sides. One for no and one for yes.
So what do I do?
Pick whichever one you want and we'll do the other one later.
Save, yes.
You gotta go forward and
Well,
press
I
it.
don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now.
Keep
You
listening.
could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more.
The
You
game
can
is now
listen to the
paused.
narrator.
Or
He's
all of
gonna
them
keep
are
talking.
appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as
Oh,
possible
dear.
and see how long you can
He's
maintain.
gonna start singing. Just listen.
There once was a man
Don't start
named
singing.
Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Any second now. I know that he does it. I know.
You're
I'm doing
talking
the-
over the
Very
song.
old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along,
Welcome
you
to Restart
too
Anytime now.
will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Is he gonna just do it on loop?
Yes, and also there is absolutely no way to get back up to those windows.
Alrighty. Begin the game again?
You want to get the other? Yeah, you want to get the other option there and see what he says when
Yeah.
you click no.
Yeah, we could have just saved the game there and then done it.
Why bother? It's literally 2 feet
All
from
of
you.
his co-workers were
I like the
calm.
easy way.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
Crouch
of
walk.
his co-workers.
I'm working on it. A. Hang on. Control. Forward. There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
Is there a way to
until
skip
he heard this
dialogue?
narration and
No.
realized it was part of the game's design.
The only
all
thing you
along.
can skip in this
He then
game is
praised the game for its
the
insightful
opening
and witty
cutscene.
commentary
The
into
rest you
nature
may
of
have to
video
just
game
cut out in
structure
editing.
and its examination of
Phooey.
structural narrative tropes. So, now that
You're gonna
you're
want to
here,
make
what do you
several
think?
episodes out of this
Isn't this a
anyway.
fun and unique
We've been
place
going,
to
what,
be?
about 15
Why don't we
already?
take a minute just to drink it all
Yeah,
in?
about. I finally got started.
Okay, I'm over it
Two
now.
fo-
What do you think?
1:45.
Are you sick of this gag yet?
Okay, not
Yeah.
for like no.
Are you sick of this gag? So no.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one?
The yes
Imagine
choice.
if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Is he done?
So are you happy I got you this? I told you to get this game?
What?
Are you happy I told you to get this game now?
Not terribly.
Well, you've been laughing an awful lot.
I have not heard my... Well, I laugh very softly, so I doubt he even picked up on the mic, and only if you could see me, you would know I'm laughing.
Well, I've been hearing it, and I can tell you he's been laughing a bunch.
Whatevs. Okay, time. What time did we even start this?
Started at 1:45.
No, we didn't. It was later, I thought.
1:50, either way. Anyway, you want to try for another one, or do you want to...
Can I do it in 5 minutes or less?
Let's see, an ending that's 5 minutes or less. You can go for the broom closet ending.
Alright, let's go for the broom closet ending.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley
Stanley
decided
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo.
Not that way. You gotta go through the meeting room.
Alright.
It's literally on the other side of the meeting room.
Alrighty. Oh, where's a run button when you need it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He entered the door on the left. Whoop. Whoop. I'm in the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips
Feeling
for not
a
getting
wave of
fired. Alright, now
disbelief,
what?
Stanley decided to go
Okay,
up
it's
to his
just
boss's
outside
office,
this door.
hoping he might find
Oh, I
him
found
there.
it.
Go in there.
Ooh.
Just walk
Stanley
in
stepped
and
into the broom
stay.
closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Do I ignore him?
Ignore him and stay put. Do not leave the broom closet. You can look around the broom closet,
There was
but
nothing here.
don't leave
No
the broom
choice
closet.
to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I'm gonna stay here a little longer. What do you guys say to that? After the
Oh,
game waits a bit in silence,
It was
the game decides to
baffling
say.
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
Keep there. Keep staying.
And the guy says,
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Why
Please
not?
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
okay, now it's getting better. The white was hard in my eyes, so the other one was kind of
You
bleh.
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Keep going.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
It gets even better, I swear.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really
Oh my
nice.
gracious!
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wow!
There's one more that's even better.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Do I step out into the hallway?
Okay, now step out into the hallway. Step into the hallway,
Second
wait for
player.
him to say
Good
something,
have
and
you
then go
on
back.
board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
I beg to differ.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus?
There's actually a fish
Look,
nearby.
You can hammer out the details.
Oh
I'm
my
not particularly
gosh.
picky. I'll just be waiting for when
Downstairs,
you're ready to pick
but
up the
it's close
story
enough.
again.
I don't think that there's another. Oh, there's another funny thing to do with this. Restart the game.
Restart the game?
Yeah, restart from Stanley's office.
Restart the game.
Yeah, begin the game again.
And then we're gonna have to end things off.
Yeah, just end things off after you go back to the broom closet.
Alright. I know where it is, so we'll just...
All of his
You know where-
co-workers were gone. What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I better stop, I'm gonna lose my breath.
When Stanley
Yeah, just
came
go
to a
on back
set
to the
of
broom
2
closet.
open doors, he
Next
entered
time we're
the
gonna
door on
explore
his
the
left.
other door.
The other door?
Yeah, those 2 doors.
Yet
The
there
one
was
on the
not
right
a
and the one on the
single
left?
person
Oh,
there
I
either.
know what you mean, okay.
Feeling a wave
It
of
should be-
disbelief,
Ah,
Stanley
crap, it
decided
didn't-
to go
it didn't
up to
take
his
it.
boss's office.
What?
Oh, I know
hoping
what
he might
happened.
find an answer there.
I was supposed to have you do the broom closet ending, and then start another ending where you come this way. I
Oh.
messed it up.
Well, we'll end on a bad note. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, Matthew will not be an idiot. See you guys then.